Having heard, among other topics, about the performance of Spain's regulated iGaming market, it is now to consider what this means for operators that are active in this market. How does the Spanish market compare to other European markets, and what business opportunities are available? Here to tell us more about it is Mauro De Fabritiis, who is founder of MDF Partners. Mauro, welcome to the stage, and it's all yours for the next 20 minutes.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you to Gaming Spain, to Willem and the team. Thank you to Esica, Xavi, for the warm hospitality. And happy to introduce you some trends with regard to the Spanish market and in general with the international trend. I think my presentation will complement some of the data Ed showed in the previous presentation. Just a few words about ourselves. We are a consulting boutique working in regulated markets, mainly in Europe and LATAM, and focused on strategy, business development, compliance, market analysis, and M&A. I start with maybe with the big picture of the global market. The global gaming market is around 500 billions, and the trend of the market is a growth during the period 2019-2025 for an amount of 22%. This growth has been trained basically by the online that moves in a 10 years period the incidence from 7% to 25%. If we go to specific market, here we managed a comparison between relevant European markets and some Latin markets. As you can see, the common factor is that online incidence has been growing in all the countries from 2019 to 2024 in a relevant way. More in some newly regulated countries, of course, like Mexico, like Colombia, and less in other countries. But you see that it's a normal trend. It's a common trend across all countries. You can see also the level of channeling that varies from country to country. And the key message here is we have online GGR divided per adult that it's quite similar in countries like Italy and Portugal. It's lower because of lower GDP in LATAM countries because of the recent regulation, but it's strangely low in Spain. So it seems to be that for the Spanish market, there is room to grow, considering the combination of the online GGR per adult, 45, and the low incidence of online on the total, 15%, against, for example, 23% of Italy, where the importance of the brick-and-mortar sector is really high. If we go to the specific figures, we see a global trend that is positive in Spain, moving from 200 million to 1.5 billion in 2024, and this growth has been pushed essentially by casino that represent the 50% of the market, quite aligned with the relevant countries in Europe, where the average is 43, because we are including countries that have not regulated casino. Let's think about France, for example. Let's go deeper in some figures of the Spanish market, and these are data taken from the DGOJ, and you see that the ARPU in Spain is slightly decreasing compared to the last year, but the GGR is increasing. It means that the increasing in terms of number of active users is higher, proportionally much higher than the decrease of ARPU. Most likely, new players are coming into the Spanish market and are lowering the ARPU. Let's compare the same figures for the three different markets, Spain, Italy, and France, and you see that, for example, Italy is growing both in number of customers and ARPU, while France has the highest number of customers, active customers, but is quite stable, a little bit increasing in terms of ARPU. And Spain is increasing in the ARPU, now stable or slightly decreasing, and as the number of players is the third in terms of number of active players. What about the size of the composition of the Spanish market right now? From this chart, you can interpret the number. You will not fight without numbers in the chart. So the message here is that the market share, the relevant market share, is driven by international players. International players are still dominating the Spanish market in terms of GGR, but we should consider also the growth of the local and we say omni-channel players that are growing faster than the international. If we look at a specific comparison between Italy, for example, and Spain, you see in this chart, let's look at the difference. In Italy, for example, we have more than 50% of the GGR incidence of the market share driven by local operators, Italian operators that we define omni-channel, so managing both retail's operation and online. And this incident is growing from year to year. In Spain, it's just 20% increasing, but really different. So in terms of market concentration, the two markets are quite similar because the top 10 operators moves around 73 in the Italian case and 78% of the market share. But in terms of groups, because of the several M&A operations we had in Italy, the Italian market, it's really much concentrated. 68% of market share from the top three groups against the 39% in Spain. And just let's have a look. I don't pretend to explain this complicated slide, but you can see that year after year in Italy, international operators acquired local players, and local players acquired local players or other international operators. And up to now, if we compare this picture with the Spanish state of the art, in Spain, the process has not started yet. Maybe it will start in the future, which is the reason why M&A is not so crowded as Italy. Most likely, the incumbents needs to grow a little bit more, or the market is not in the maturity stage to move this trend. We will see in the next years. And now, after some presentation of key numbers, I want to try to speak about the future. It's really difficult to speak about the future and say, what about the future of the Spanish market in terms of size of the market, regulatory environment, key operators, and many things. The only way we can use to figure out the future is to look at the international trends. So we have summarized some trends on the international landscape in order to see which could be, and theoretically, the future for Spain. But there is a big condition. The future of Spain will be similar to other countries depending on how the regulatory setting will be defined. And it's really, really important. I will show you some trends with regarding to regulation, to promotional activities, to products, mainly casino and betting, and two, innovative trends in general, maybe parallel to the regulated industry. And I will start with regulation. And generally speaking, in Europe and in other newly regulated countries, the regulatory trend is that, first of all, costs are increasing for operator. The regulatory cost for an operator that wants to stay in a market are much, much, much higher than 10 years ago, for example. There is an increase of advertising the restrictions in most of the countries. The specific restrictions varies from country to country, but the common trend is we have common pillars for all the countries. There are other measures with regard to the responsible gaming requirements in Italy, in Spain, in Sweden, everywhere. Now with some updates that the general director presented today, for example, for Spain, the cross-operator deposit limit, it's something new that for sure will affect in some way the market. And the increasing in some of the countries of the license cost. Italy, for example, is an example with 7 million down payment for the entrance for the new online license, and Greece and Brazil are other examples. Second point, promotions. Promotions continue being the highest direct acquisition method in all the countries. So cross countries, whatever is the country we consider, promotions are key. Here we have represented the big picture of the Spanish market, where do you see that the total spending in terms of channels, advertising, bonus, affiliation, sponsorship, and so on, is slightly decreasing from time to time, also due to the block on the advertising. But essentially, the advertising, of course, is decreasing as a percentage of the GGR. Also, bonus are decreasing, but within this limited framework for the operators, the bonus in particular are a way to create a positioning, are a way to differentiate one operator from the other. So we observed the market, not only the Spanish one, but also other European markets and Latin markets, with a newly launched product by MDF Partners around 2 years ago. We launched Promo Sherlock. That is a tool that is able to detect the promo activities through a daily monitoring of relevant operators. We will have a session that my colleague Mario Chamorro is there, will present regarding the relevant result of the tool. But I will show you just one chart that with some info we detected with Promo Sherlock. And as you can see, there are in Spain special promos or new creativities in the naming in many elements that makes the bonus not only a way to attract the customer, but a way to position the offer. So you have free bets, you have traditional bonus, you have many things. You have tournament, raffle, wheels, and so on. And the operators compete to differentiate their offer, also through promotion that are, in a way, a tool not only to gather customers, but to keep them loyal sometimes. Let's go to the products. We will analyze betting and casino, which are the new trends internationally speaking. First of all, with regard to the odds, AI helps the odds production with AI-driven odds and personalization of the offer. New way of betting are coming up in several markets, like Bet Builder. With the Bet Builder, the customer can compose its own bet, mixing up markets in the same bet slip. And it seems that in relevant operators, the Bet Builder is incidence is around more than 25% on GGR, speaking of sports. Then there is the esports trend. Esports, we listen about esports from several years. It is starting. It's slow, but it's a trend. There are top games like CS:GO, Data 2 LOL, FIFA. Even in Spain, we are looking at a fast increasing, even with small numbers of this trend. And the micro betting. So inside a single match, the possibility for the customer to bet on every single micro event, on the next point, on the next fall, and so on. It's absolutely a trend, but of course, low latency and good high-level technology are needed to manage this kind of bets. When it comes to casino, we are confirming here the general trend I show you at the beginning of the presentation. Casino are driving and are boosting the online growth in several markets, including Spain, where the incidence on GGR is around 50%. But one interesting thing is related to the increasing of live games. We have not figured out real data on GGR, but we are presenting here the number of live games included in the offer of the operators, and we see that the number of live games is increasing in countries like Italy and UK, and less in Spain, maybe in relation with some limitation on the regulation. Other trends, maybe that are surfing around the regulated environment. The crypto casinos, the social casinos, the prediction markets, that's in a way could be, we could perceive that as an indirect competitor of betting, and the skill-based tournament, a mix between the gambling and the video games with a one-to-one or a multiplayer bet. I will not spend, because we are tight of time, I think, more words about that, but I want to figure out some provisional conclusion of the mix of what is the status of Spain right now and what will be the future, taking into account the international trends. So some points. First of all, at the product level, casino is expected to drive the growth in the coming years, and betting will keep this central rule. So first of all, in terms of betting and casino and of trend of the industry, the Spanish market has confirmed to have a strong potential for growth, even despite the regulatory limitations. The market, as said, is dominated by international operators, but local players have room to grow and also to combine the retail experience with the online, with an omni-channel view. The increasing competition forces operators to optimize their strategy to remain competitive. So now and in the future, it will be extremely important for the strategy of the operator to look into the data, into the details, and measure the efficiency and the effectiveness of the marketing actions. And last, but maybe most important, the regulatory restrictions may impede market organic growth, encouraging migration to .com. So in a way, the Spanish market is attractive, but if we force the customer with heavy limitations, the customer is one click away from the .com offer. I stop here. I hope I am on time. My presentation, and thank you all.
You're absolutely on time, Mauro. Thank you. I think we had one or maybe two questions from the audience inside. I think there was one. think one was already answered. Mauro, do you know why revenue per user ARPU may be declining in Spain?
If
As
we
mentioned in
we
one
are
of your
thinking
slides.
at ARPU, at the end of the day, ARPU is an average. So it's a mix of GGR per player of existing and historical customers and newcomers. So maybe the new users with the low spending are reducing the ARPU, and maybe we should enter into details in the data. Maybe the lifetime of the customer is shorter than in other countries.
Great. Mauro, thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming. It's time for a coffee break now, so I hope to see you back in half an hour in the room here. Thank you very much.